Welcome to the Health Conscious Living Podcast. I'm Dr. Gayle Myers, and today's episode, we're going to talk about the indomitable human spirit and resilience. Remember when you found ways to resolve that problem at home that made life easier for the family during the pandemic, where you organized classroom space for your kids and office spaces for you and your spouse or your partner, while also having a space to chill and relax as a family? Or you had to overcome a failure that later became a greater ability, like using technology and teaching your kids how to use it. Or more likely, they taught you. Or you started a new job and a new career and felt a bit lost, only to realize that you already knew how to do what came easy to you and added value to your team or company as you learned skills. Or you overcame an illness and learned ways of taking care of yourself that made you healthier in the long run, like having lower back pain, and after going to physical therapy, learning new ways to strengthen and move, so now you can bend and reach and walk without pain and enjoy being in nature again. Each challenge helped you tap into your resilience, which built on a reserve to tap into the next time. Resilience is defined as the ability to bounce back from challenging or traumatic situations, to be able to adapt and overcome adversities and setbacks, to be able to manage stress and emerge stronger. We've all had to face challenges in our lives. Some we chose, like learning a new skill or subject in school, learning a new trade, getting a college or advanced degree, or living in a foreign country and learning a new language and culture, or getting married and having a family, or starting a new career. But then there are the surprise events like an accident, a severe illness, an environmental catastrophe like a tornado, hurricane, fire, or the pandemic. Those completely unknown and immense challenges we faced globally during the pandemic, where we not only had to tap into our resilience, we realized we had to tap into humanity's resilience if we were going to emerge stronger. As a reminder from an earlier podcast episode, we're spiritual beings having a human experience to learn, grow, and gain wisdom. And the human spirit is indomitable. Over the years of practicing medicine and my own healing journey, I gained a deep appreciation of the indomitable human spirit. Webster's dictionary defines indomitable as unconquerable, incapable of being subdued. Cambridge English Dictionary defines indomitable as strong, brave, determined, and difficult to defeat or frighten. The indomitable human spirit is unstoppable, with the ability to bounce back in the face of adversity, setbacks, challenges, and trauma, to bounce back again and again and emerge stronger and wiser. Resilience is honoring your true potential, the capacity to become something greater. It's courage, strength, resourcefulness, perseverance. It's the possibility of stepping into the future as a greater version of yourself with wisdom and grace. The greater version of yourself is something that only you can define. It's not based on someone else's expectations of you, but your own discovery and definition based on your authentic self and inner resourcefulness. Others can encourage and support you, but deep within, you know through obstacles you've faced which version of yourself you're becoming. It's more about how you handle the challenges as they come up, your resourcefulness and problem solving, and your solution-focused brilliance. It's funny how life's challenges brings out our resilience. It's not usually on your daily schedule. Today, I'm going to be resilient in the face of adversity. Or is it? Resilience is a superpower. It's something we tap into when those tough situations arise, like an illness, an accident, a life-threatening situation, the loss of a loved one, a job, a business, or a divorce. Resilience is an innate ability. It's the indomitable human spirit that's waiting moment to moment to shine through, waiting to be acknowledged, invited, and welcome to express the innate capacity to overcome the challenges in front of you, the big ones like a deep loss or injury or threat to your life or loved one. And it's also the less intense challenges that you decide to take on, like learning to be a better communicator, writer, or speaker, and you get a coach and build a supportive community. Or to become a singer and get a voice coach to teach you and help you progress in your singing ability. Or you take up painting and you find teachers that help you improve your painting skills. Or you're challenged reading or doing math and you get help from teachers, tutors, online courses. Each time we face a new challenge, we reveal that innate ability to quickly adapt, overcome, and recover. Many years ago, I took classes with a lovely man, a kind, gentle soul that was working in the Twin Towers on 9/11. He was one of the fortunate ones that was able to run down the stairs and out of the building of the second tower before it collapsed. Amongst the smoke and chaos, he found himself walking to reach safety. No cell phones, buses, or transportation available. He said he just kept walking and walking all the way home, 5 miles to Brooklyn. When we spoke, with gratitude for his survival, I asked him about his incredible resilience and fortitude. He said, "I knew I just had to keep going and I would be okay. I found safe places where I could rest, found a store where I could buy water, and I just kept walking to get home." It's times like that, in the midst of the total unknown, life or death situations, that the indomitable human spirit shines through, guiding us to safety. There are other times when we may not meet the challenge with as much grace and confidence as we'd like because of fear of the unknown that shows up, or fear of failure or loss. But within us is the wellspring of resilience that keeps us persevering. And it's not only capable of overcoming, but developing a stronger character that's capable and confident. Resilience is a natural ability. It's like a muscle that we build. The more we use it, the stronger it gets and the stronger we become. Often, resilience not only shows up as our immense capacity to cope, but reveals a new level of achievement or an improved way of doing things. During the pandemic lockdown, all restaurants had to close down. Many closed permanently, and others were able to pivot. Resilience shone through when once successful restaurants required to shut down during the pandemic lockdown and lay off staff, instead pivoted to do takeout only, pickup and delivery, therefore providing food for customers, neighborhoods, and communities. Then finding that pivot helped not only keep the kitchen open, but reassigning roles and keeping staff employed while the restaurants thrived through the pandemic. Resilience is not only the ability to overcome challenges, but to bounce back stronger and create breakthrough solutions. Many new restaurant concepts were created during the pandemic. For example, DoorDash looked beyond the door-to-door delivery. Their mission was just the beginning of connecting people with possibility. Easier evenings, happier days, bigger savings account, wider nets, and stronger communities. During the pandemic, Uber Eats revenue grew by 179%, a 72% increase from 2019 to 2021. Concepts of dining and meal subscriptions like HelloFresh grew active customers by 78%, having transformed since the pandemic and continue to grow as we settle into the ever-shifting new norm. By seeing challenges as opportunities for growth and being able to tap into times where you were resilient, you grew beyond what you once thought you were capable of to become more competent and confident in your expanded abilities. Resilience is both an innate ability and also something that we develop, like building a muscle and using it to do the heavier lifting when the opportunities suddenly pop up. Here are 8 ways to build resilience. 1, seeing life's challenges as opportunities to tap into your personal strength and resilience. Remember, your most resilient moments and how you emerged stronger and wiser. 2, developing a positive outlook and mindset. Focus on the road ahead, what you can do, not on the road behind you. 3, look at possibilities. The what if this happens, then I would, not from a place of worry or fear, but abilities, capabilities, preparation, such as if there's going to be a storm, then I will seek shelter, have enough food and water, keep myself and family and animals safe, and keep a generator handy, and invite my neighbors who might need help. 4, seeing failure as an opportunity to learn and grow. Failures are opportunities for resilience to shine through, to reevaluate, to go deeper, and find new opportunities and solutions. What if you didn't see it as a failure, but a moment to pause and reset for a better outcome? 5, being able to manage stress and shifting environments with greater finesse, reminding yourself, I can handle this. This too shall pass, and I can do something different and have a different outcome. 6, ask for help. Getting the support you need professionally and through relationships and community. Asking for help is an opportunity for others to help you and give you what you need, and they will likely feel really good about being able to help you. 7, meditation. Calming the overactive mind and tuning into your soul's messages, your inner guidance and wisdom. Remember, when you meditate, you come out of the amygdala fear and danger response, accessing your prefrontal cortex and access the higher executive functioning levels of the brain, problem solving, and creative thinking. 8, seeing a greater purpose. Gaining perspective that your experiences are opportunities for growth, to bring out a deeper strength, a greater version of yourself with gifts to share. In the last podcast episode, you heard Dr. Petra's story of surviving her first of 3 near-death experiences. In the first near-death experience after the delivery of her second child, when that child was 10 years old, she suddenly lost the ability to move her legs and went on to lose consciousness and become paralyzed. Her daughter was diagnosed with encephalitis, a life-threatening inflammation of the brain. Dr. Petra was told that her daughter would not survive the night, and she needed to say goodbye to her. Dr. Petra stayed by her side and prayed all night. Her daughter survived the night, and the next morning, Dr. Petra signed her daughter out of the hospital and took her home. Dr. Petra continued to talk to her around the clock as much as she could and proceeded to nurture her back to health. First, her daughter regained consciousness and went on from being in a wheelchair to using crutches to regaining her physical function. After being told her daughter would never be able to recover, her daughter went on to speak 7 languages get 2 bachelor's degrees and 2 master's degrees in international law. Dr. Petra went on to study hypnotherapy, and today she's an intuitive scientist and spiritual healer, award-winning hypnotherapist and international speaker, best-selling author. She has dedicated her life to assisting others to heal from trauma, accessing their full brain power, and living in alignment with their soul's purpose. Dr. Petra's story is a story of resilience, both the love of a mother and the perseverance of her daughter to recover. When we see life's challenges as opportunities, we tap into that wellspring of resilience to keep problem solving and creating the best possible outcome. As we build resilience, we gain confidence and have more tools to draw from our resilience skill set. I certainly had those opportunities after surviving a head-on collision and near-death experience. Over my 5-year recovery journey, I had multiple opportunities to tap into my resilience and continuously build more resilience. 4 years after my recovery, when we went into lockdown, during the initial phases of the pandemic, I remember thinking, this is familiar. I've done this before. I had 2 years of practice in the early part of my recovery. During the early phase of my recovery, although I continued to treat patients on a very limited basis and co-taught meditation classes once a month, these were control situations and I had a lot of assistance. Most of my outings were for medical appointments and pool therapy. I limited myself going into large public places to reduce my chances of getting sick or being bumped or falling. Social interactions were extremely limited as well. I stayed focused on my recovery. Over time, that changed. The isolation that we all experienced during lockdown wasn't as difficult for me as it would have been had I not remembered during my recovery to ask, how do I make the best of it all? After all, this too shall pass. Gratefully, both during my recovery and in lockdown, I had the blessing of a dear husband with a positive outlook, a sense of humor, and resilience himself. We definitely had our challenges, but it helps when you know that you can persevere and come out the other side. Think of ways you've had to apply your resilience in the past and how you solved, persevered, and overcame a challenge, an illness or an accident, a loss or a sudden life change. What changed about your experience? How did you change? And what were you able to achieve as a result of your resilience? Think of all the ways you are resilient now, your strengths and resourcefulness, your ability to think on the spur of the moment and to come up with a new solution, your ability to do something different, to try something new, to explore possibilities, your appreciation for yourself and your innate abilities, your confidence and sense of purpose, your innate sense of well-being, your sense of humor and your ability to laugh, your ability to set and accomplish realistic goals, even when they stretch you way out of your comfort zone, your ability to cheer yourself and others on and to create a better outcome. Take a few minutes and write down all the ways in which you already are resilient, how your indomitable human spirit shined through. Then write down all you have access to in your well of resilience. And use that list to journal and use it as a reminder when you need it. Remember, resilience is an innate ability. The indomitable human spirit is instinctively resilient. It's unstoppable. Stephen Hawking, one of the greatest scientific minds in history, was given a year to live when he was diagnosed with ALS at the age of 21, a severe, life-threatening neurological disease. and he lived to be 76. Now let's take his inspiration. Look up at the stars and not down at your feet. Try to make sense of what you see and wonder what makes the universe exist. Be curious. I hope today's episode helps you to remember how resilient you are, that you continually build your wellspring of resilience, and you can tap into it and continue to fill and build your resilience reserve. So the next time you need to tap into your resilience, just remember, you got this. I welcome you now to join me for the meditation, empowering your inner wisdom and building resilience.